is Valley News Live at 4.
We're learning more about the man accused of leaving a gun unattended at a Moorhead apartment this spring, resulting in the death of a 6-year-old boy. It happened back in March in the 400 block of Sunrise Circle South. Moorhead police say several children were left home alone, found a gun, and shot and killed 6-year-old Marcellus. Police say that gun belonged to this man, 33-year-old Philip Jones Jr., and he wasn't allowed to have firearms due to a prior felony conviction. Those children were his cousins. Documents reveal it was Jones's girlfriend, Demaria Dotson, who left the children alone. They say the children's mother sent an Uber for Dotson to come meet her at the mall, but there weren't enough seats for everyone, so the kids stayed home. Jones claimed he didn't know there was a gun in the home, but his DNA was found on the gun recovered from the scene. New for you at 4, a former Monoman County sheriff is behind bars after violating a restraining order. 67-year-old Bradley Othman was arrested after a woman reported he was within 20 feet of her home, violating the protection order she'd recently been granted against him. Police say he drove by her lake cabin several times a day in different vehicles and would get out and peek into the windows. Court documents show similar incidents occurred last summer. The protection order is in effect until June 2023. Fargo police need your help identifying a person of interest in the frying pan arson case. A fire started in the dumpster that spread to the roof of the building, but fire crews were able to put it out quickly. They had to cut a hole in the roof to make sure flames hadn't spread any further. The damage is estimated at $5,000. Police released this photo of the suspect today. If you have any information, contact Fargo police investigators at the number on your screen. Reference case number 2148726. The public is invited to remember 14-year-old Jupiter Paulsen. The Fargo middle schooler passed away last week after being brutally assaulted. Her family chose to donate her organs and saved 4 lives, including another teenage girl. Jupiter's funeral will be held on Sunday, June 27th outside of Shields Arena. The public is encouraged to attend. The service is expected to start at 5 p.m. Now here's Nathan with a first look at your forecast. Nathan?
Thanks, Stacy. Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Valley News Live. A windy one for our friends in the Northern Valley. Look at some of these peak winds today so far. Langdon, a 38-mile-per-hour gust. Cavalier, a 33-mile-per-hour gust. 36 miles per hour, that gust in Grafton. Not as windy for our friends in the Southern Valley. I do expect that trend to continue for the rest of this evening, where the windier conditions will be off toward the north. And here's a look at our home economy sky cam. This in Devil's Lake. I showed this to show you those trees there on the horizon are waving back and forth a little bit, so a little bit breezy there for our friends in Devil's Lake. But high pressure today means clouds are nowhere to be found on satellite and radar. We are seeing a little bit of humidity being detected on the radar there in the Mayville area, but really that's about all we've got to talk about for today. Also warm with some sunshine. Temperatures 80s for most everybody, 90 in Halleck, one of the hot spots at this time. Then a lot of 80s there for our friends across Lakes Country, 82 Detroit Lakes, 82 also in Wadena, 81 that current temperature there in Fergus Falls. So for the rest of this evening in Fargo, expecting the skies to stay clear. Temperatures also staying mild with those northwest winds still around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures down around 70 by that midnight hour tonight. Then in Grand Forks, you can see plenty of sunshine up there, and that sunshine expected to continue, of course, until sunset. Then clear skies persist with lower 60s there by the 2 o'clock hour. So a comfortable night for us in Grand Forks. But of course, Stacy, will look ahead to the chance of some weekend rain in a few minutes.
All right. Thanks so much, Nathan. Authorities in Otter Tail County are warning you about a scam going around involving your Amazon account. The sheriff's office says people are receiving calls from people claiming to work for the company, saying their items are being put on hold due to suspicious spending. The victim is then asked for credit card details or banking information for what the caller claims is a refund, but it's not. It's a scam, and authorities are reminding you not to give out your financial information over the phone. If you think your Amazon account has been hacked, you should contact Amazon directly. A $3,000 reward is being offered to anyone with information on an elderly Minnesota man who was murdered. On this date last year, Terry McCoy was preparing to leave his home in Wheaton and move into an assisted living center when prospective buyers stopped by his farm. The next day, they noticed signs of a struggle and called police. His body was found 2 weeks later in a river northeast of Wheaton. An autopsy shows McCoy died of homicidal violence. Anyone with information is asked to contact the BCA tip line at the number on your screen. The Biden administration will invest more than $3 billion to develop antiviral pills to treat COVID-19 as well as other viruses of pandemic potential. Tomorrow, a CDC panel will hear about reports of heart inflammation following vaccination, and they say these cases are rare and the majority of patients have recovered.
These cases are rare, and the vast majority have fully resolved with rest and supportive care. CDC will present details about more than 300 confirmed cases of myocarditis and pericarditis reported to CDC and FDA among the over 20 million adolescents and young adults vaccinated in the United States.
The U.S. Surgeon General said those who are unvaccinated face a real and growing threat from the variants, including the Delta variant, which may be more transmissible and severe than the others. The Supreme Court has upheld Obamacare for a third time. Natalie Brand has this story from the White House.
In a closely watched legal battle, Supreme Court justices ruled 7-2 to dismiss the latest challenge to the Affordable Care Act.
Today's Supreme Court decision is a landmark victory for Democrats' work to defend protections for people with pre-existing conditions.
The Affordable Care Act gets constantly woven deeper and deeper into the system. It's eventually going to be pretty hard to unravel from the system.
The case brought forward by a group of Republican-led states centered around the constitutionality of the law's individual mandate to buy health insurance or pay a fine. Congress got rid of the financial penalty as part of the 2017 Trump-era tax law. The states challenging Obamacare argued the entire law should be invalidated since the penalty for not having insurance or the individual mandate was eliminated.
The Supreme Court just punted.
The court sidestepped ruling on the larger issue, instead saying the states did not have standing to sue.
What the court said today is, look, zeroing out a penalty, you don't have enough of a harm here. What's your problem? We're not going to hear this case on the merits.
President Biden has vowed to expand the Affordable Care Act, which was passed when he was vice president. He called today's decision a big win and said the law is here to stay.
President Obama's landmark health law has survived two other challenges before the Supreme Court. This month, the Department of Health and Human Services said more than 30 million Americans have health coverage through the Affordable Care Act, calling it a record. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The Supreme Court also ruled unanimously in favor of a Catholic foster care agency that refused to work with same-sex couples. The House of Representatives voted to repeal the 2002 Iraq War Powers Resolution this afternoon. House members voted 268 to 161 to repeal that measure, which now heads to the Senate. Democratic Representative Barbara Lee, who in 2001 and 2002 voted against two war power measures, was the sponsor of the repeal bill. If it passes the Senate and is signed by President Biden, the measure would end the authorization for use of military force that green-lighted then President George W. Bush's plans to invade Iraq. Ongoing drought conditions are affecting some people's 4th of July celebrations in North Dakota. Burleigh and Morton counties have joined the city of Mandan in banning the private use of fireworks during the July 4th holiday due to our extreme drought. Public or commercial fireworks displays that have received permits are still allowed. As for our neck of the woods, the restrictions vary city to city. Fireworks are not allowed within Fargo city limits, including on holidays, unless you have a permit. In West Fargo, fireworks are only allowed within city limits on the 4th of July between 8 in the morning and 11:59 at night. Anyone over 12 can use fireworks, but not at parks or any other city, county, or federally owned property. The city of Horace has individual restrictions with fireworks based on grams of weight. Fireworks are banned in Grand Forks, except for people who obtain a permit. In the state of Minnesota, fireworks of any size, including skyrockets and Roman candles, are illegal. Their biggest concern is fires due to the dry conditions. Ground spinners and wheels are okay. You can find all this information and more on valleynewslive.com. If you're looking for something to do with Dad this weekend, try the Red River Zoo. Fathers, grandfathers, and father figures are all welcome to check out critters like eagles, wolves, even Luna the opossum for free. The zoo says it's another great way to give back to the dads that do so much for their families.
We have lots of zoo dads here at the zoo, so spend time at the zoo with your own father while learning about the animals at the zoo. Our dad's here.
The zoo is open on Sunday from 10 in the morning until 6 in the afternoon.
Sustainability piece in our operation and how we can extend that.
Farmers are hoping to create change. We'll explain when Valley News Live at 4 continues.
And this morning we got an updated drought condition map. Notice some improvement there across southwestern North Dakota. Still in extreme drought for the Devil's Lake Basin and still exceptional drought in central North Dakota. I am tracking some potentially heavier showers for the weekend. We'll break that down for you next.